Okay, here we go. What is the
How are you
story?
now?
How are you?
How you
Good,
how are you?
good. You have a nice shiner there.
I love your shiner, yeah.
You do from the other
Uh,
night.
it was worse there the other night, so I was after going on a good bit, but it's still rough enough.
How are you after the weekend?
Ah, not too bad now, yeah, a little bit broke up, but not too bad. I can't really complain, like sure. It's always better when you're the winner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It'd be worse if you were broke up and you
exactly. I have to
lost.
live with it. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm good. Just a few, a bit, obviously the nose is at me. I'm a little bit nasally so I'm doing it, but apart from that, I'm grand. Fight again this weekend.
Are you?
No, no, I'm
You?
only
No,
messing. I'm
no.
only messing.
I was about to say, it wouldn't surprise me. And that was your Clan Wars was your MMA, your amateur debut, and
Yeah,
then you went. For, yes, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So Clan Wars was my amateur debut, and then the next Saturday on from that, I was fighting a Cage Legacy, and I was fighting Darren O'Brien, big lump of a lad. But yeah, fair play to both my opponents. They were both very good and showed really good sportsmanship after the fight. But yeah, no, ready to go again though. All the same, like I'm taking like about the week to decompress. I was chatting with my coaches and I'm just relaxing now. But I gotta be back on it soon enough. Hopefully, there's talks of hopefully getting on IU or and Clamors in December. We'll have to see how that goes. Like,
Yeah, well, hopefully you can get on IUR. That's another big card. There was a question I want to ask you because you were at Clan Wars. Obviously, you fought on that, you won, and then you fought at Cage Legacy. On the first at Clan Wars, there was a crowd, I believe. Yeah,
yeah,
there
there
was a
was
there was a
about
crowd.
200 to 300 people.
And how was the feeling with the crowd there?
So much better.
Yeah,
As in not from like both shows were really professional the way they handle business. Like both of them are very good. But like I'm talking about just personally from a person who uh performing in front of a crowd and not performing in front of a crowd. Like there's such a difference. I'm still there to fight no matter what. It's still a fight. But the extra little additive of like having the vibe of everybody cheering you or booing you, like because I was fighting a guy from the north, so you know I didn't know what I was expecting or what to be expecting. I didn't know how hostile the crowd was going to be if they were going to be hostile. But yeah, no, it was such a good feeling. Like I like you weren't there for the Comores, were you?
no, I wasn't, unfortunately. No.
It was so professional. Like with the lights, the music, the crowd, everything was unbelievable. Like obviously you have to give a shout out to Declan and Darren Sonic because it's much harder to run a show without the crowd. The gate is such a draw for why you're doing it. So the fact that they couldn't have any spectators to sell tickets, it's very tough. Like on them.
Yeah, and they were still able to go ahead, and that was also a really good card as well. There were
Yeah,
some
no,
good
no.
fighters.
Oh, like I'd say, card had like the Clan Wars card had a lot of pros where if you're watching the Cage Legacy, you're like pretty much watching like the pros of tomorrow because like that's the top level competition in Ireland at the minute. Like they weren't lying when they were saying the elite of the elite in the amateur ranks. Like so, like fair play to them. Like they're doing Irish MMA such a favor.
Yeah, it's good. That's what I said because they're the only one down south at the minute, and that's what I seen. Decky in an interview. Decky's the character. My live stream with Decky last week was good crack.
Yeah, no, they're a
Uh,
bit mad, aren't they? Yeah, they're scrappy Dublin lads.
yeah,
Oh, stop it.
but
Yeah, no, they're funny.
that's what he said. He wants that he wants more of the amateur because he wants this is where he wants Irish MMA to grow, and then I
Yeah,
do like that.
like it's not a it's just fact. It's just a fact that most of the old uh older amateur fighters that have won titles on like Cage Legacy have went on to be pros and have been successful pros. Like I'm pretty sure uh I can't name no names are coming to mind right now, but like there are a lot of lads who have had to relinquish their titles at amateur for Cage Legacy because they're gone pro and they've all been successful at it. But a lot of them have been successful. So you
Yeah,
know, it's definitely a feeder. It's the right way to go. Like
yeah. Do you think we should have more of them in Ireland? Do you think there should be more? Because he
oh,
welcomes more.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. No, they're like yeah. they're there. You can tell they're for the fighters. That's why I really like them. They're legends. But no, I think there should be way more. You know, it's easier said than done because it's a huge commitment creating shows, and I think it's it's hard. It's definitely hard to run the shows, but like that's why I have serious respect for the promoters because without the promotions, I can't show my work and I can't perform.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about for yourself. And especially, there's a question I want to ask you. Between Clan Wars and Cage Legacy, obviously, usually after a fight, I say you would like your food and like your break. Was that tough the week in between trying to not to pig out? Or do you pig out after fights or stay the
Uh,
same?
no, so I'm trying to remember now. I picked out a little bit. Obviously, I had to like pick out a good bit, and like the biggest difference though, I could tell mentally is that when I fought on Clan Wars, I knew the business wasn't over. There's more stuff to be done. So I didn't like my sleep pattern actually didn't go too crazy. Whereas now after finishing up, I can let myself kind of reset and just my like lack of discipline is starting to show now. I'm letting it go like my structures after falling apart. Uh, but like deservedly so. Where when I fought in Clan Wars, I knew it wasn't over, so I had to keep it all together because I kept saying it to my coaches. But nobody cares about you're only as good as your last fight. And it didn't matter how good my performance looked on Clan Wars. If I went out and I lost to Darren O'Brien, my most recent opponent, people wouldn't focus on the first good performance, they'd focus on the last one. And that's what I would focus on. You know, we always focus more harshly on the negative aspects. So like that's why I made sure to stay switched on. I loosened up a little bit with the diet and that, but like I didn't go crazy and I kept it on form and I made sure that I knew there was still business to be dealt. Like I handled it.
And you did handle it. It was a good dominant performance. That was Darren's debut, I believe, in
Yeah,
MMA though
yeah.
himself. So he
He's a
done
good
quite
record
well.
in K1. I give him that.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah, yeah. He's
yeah.
very talented. 7-1, I think he was 7-1-1 or something like that. And I didn't realize Caelan back at home was on the Northern Ireland wrestling team, and also he has a judo black belt. Like I didn't know that now, but yeah, like they weren't bums.
Yeah.
They're good lads. Like they weren't just feeders. But yeah, no, like they're definitely they're gonna be fighting alongside me. They're gonna be warming up in the room or in the warm up room with me in years to come, I'm sure. So you know you'll see them again.
Yeah, no, definitely. See, there was one part I think I said it to you the other day. I think you had Darren up against the cage, and you were saying to his corner, you were saying to
Yeah,
Decky, he's talking shit, and I'm beating him. I
because okay, so like I keep getting like a little bit of slagging off my coaches for this, rightly so, but when I perform it, I just like I get so when I was uh, when I was the kid, fighting the first time on Caelan or with Caelan, when I was in mount, I had mounted him and I was like landing a few shots. I turned to my corner. I looked up at Kieran. I gave him a wink. Him and Andrew in the corner. I gave them a wink, and I think I thumbs up as well from the mount as well. And I went back to business and kept like hitting him with shots. But then, and it doesn't show on the recording, which is really annoying. But like you just can't really see it clearly. But then I went on to fight on his legacy, and of course you were right to say Declan and the two boys. So I uh, I was fucking charged up, and Darren had caught me with some good shots, and my nose had started to drip. And this was like the third round, okay. So I was like, right, you need to keep on the damage, try and get the finish. But it's looking like he's fighting an upward battle. It's looking like I'm about to take this home. But before I got down, he caught me with a good shot. And as I got him down, my nose was trickling with blood, and like I could see it on the mat. And I was like, right, like he got me with a good shot. And then Darren, he's such a game fucker, fair play to him. But he was like, oh, I got him like this. I like sure. I'm not gonna sit there and take shit, like you know what I mean. So I was giving it back a little bit. I was like, he's talking shit. Your boy's talking shit, even though I'm not having him or I'm not beating him, like you said, beating him for the bastard, or even though he's losing or whatever. But no, I like that. Like, and I don't know if you noticed it, but like Declan and the commentators definitely noticed that because I mentioned it on the stream. I was in the first round. I think it was the first round. I could be half through the second. I got Darren down right in front of his corner, and every time I was looking, like with the way I was looking, it was like I was looking right at Declan. I gave Declan a bit of a wink as well, and I love being a little bit of like a showman. It's like it's all respectful and that, but I just you know how it is when you're enjoying yourself
Yeah.
that much.
And how did Declan react when you gave him the wink? He probably started laughing, did he?
Yeah, he started laughing. I was picture I just have a vivid memory of him like giving me like a nearly like the cheek of this cunt, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I could only imagine like this lad. Oh, stop! It's not a great place to be when your lads is after getting taken down and the lad is chatting shit. Who's beating him? Trying to fight
Uh,
two battles at once. Have to focus on one job at once.
but you done it. You got it in the end. Another thing I
Yeah,
wanted to ask you about is the crowd. Obviously, when I was in the corner, I was saying this to Max earlier. I could see how, like, the corner. I've only recently got into the regional scene. Okay, so I could see how much the corner does affect what you're doing and how they spot things with the crowd and without the crowd. Is it with the crowd? Is it much harder to hear, or can you hear their voices clearly over the crowd?
uh, I like okay. So I was thinking the exact same as you. Like I was like, which I wonder which is better because I remember actually a question like there Charlie Ward trains in SVG Tullamore as well, but like I remember asking him because obviously I planned to go pro eventually, and I was like, do you know, like in a full arena, do you hear people, do you hear your corner, or like can you hear your coaches? Because that's a big thing to me. Because every time I compete, I listen to my coaches, like, and I like to think I listen well. So like, but I want to know, and he said it was grand, and like I have to say, I found no difference at all. Like I heard Kieran as clear in Clown Wars with the crowd as I did in Cage Legacy without the crowd. So, and I can hear him clearly. It's only the people you know. Plus, Kieran does a very good job cornering. He only one person speaking instead of you see corners sometimes they nearly lose control of themselves and they're all like shouting commands. Like that's not good. You need to hear one clear voice with one like set of instructions.
Yeah, that's good. And how was that's because I was wondering what the difference would be.
Yeah,
SPDG Tullamore, you're saying the team there is quite good. Obviously, there's yourself and Andrew, who
yeah,
unfortunately lost, but he lost to someone who's very good and coming up.
yeah. And also like give him a good run for his money. Like and
Yeah,
like I don't think that was the best Andrew Barrett. Like there's more to come. Like it will come. But it's just like then there's also Jordan Scully. He wasn't fighting on either of the cards, but he took home silver in the IMAFs there during the summer, and yeah, like I was saying in my interview with Prospect MMA, like there's not in the in the jiu-jitsu side, our gym has so many accolades, it's known for it, but in the MMA side, like it's only just it's the ball is only starting to get rolling, and you can just you could just see it the way like it's a different vibe, it's a different type of different level. I feel like, and it's just going to show more and more because like that was my first few only two amateur fights. I can't wait to show myself and how much my team is put into me like 10 fights down the line because I think I performed well there, but I want to show even better performances and I want to get even more finishes. But I'm happy that I did go to 3 rounds as well because I wanted to know I could do it obviously, but also I wanted I didn't want to get lazy.
yeah. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I cut out there a little bit. Sorry about that.
All right. No, I was going to ask as well. In between, did you agree to fight on Cage Legacy before you had the Clan Wars fight? Because I was wondering if that would you like if you'd have got an injury, then you would have had to pull out.
Uh, so I agreed to do the Clan Wars fight and also the Cage Legacy event, but Cage Legacy actually were planning for about 3 weeks in the difference or so. But they moved it to a week. I'm like, my coach Kieran was like to me, it's like they're after moving that. Are you sure you're okay with it? I'm like, yeah. He was like, okay. Like, and we just went with it. And it's like we were having discussions about this, like, because Declan was obviously worried. Like when he found out that I was fighting Clan Wars, he was like, worried that I would pull out. But like, me and my coach had agreed, like, listen, if my leg's fucking hanging off, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to. I have to fight. I gave my word I'm gonna fight, so I have to fight. Like you know what I mean? And like also I think you shouldn't think like that. Like I think I'm ready for anything, but I'm also my expectation is to go in there and clean my opponent off the table. Don't have a hard fight at all. Go in there and perform. I don't want to fight. I want to perform. I want to be totally in control and smashing my opponent. It's not a fight. A fight is back and forth. My fights won't be like that.
Okay. When do you plan on having how many fights you plan before you go pro? Or are you planning on going pro? Is that in the works?
That's definitely in the works. But I don't know. Honestly, I want to have almost a ridiculous amateur record before I go pro because I feel like people undersell how important it is an amateur. Amateur is a place where you make the mistakes and you like fine tune it because it's too late once you've gone pro. It is like now you're in the big leagues. Like I said, you're in front of a stadium or whatever. Like you're in shows even bigger than the Clan Wars ones, maybe and like that's why I shouldn't be like I always want to be a student and constantly learning, but I also don't want to ever see something I've never seen before when I go pro. So that's why when I do it, I want to have a ridiculous amateur record, and I'm trying. I was speaking about this with my coach. Like I want to gain experience in everything. Someone I really admire someone I really admire is Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is like a high level gi competitor, no gi competitor, MMA fighter. Like I know he lost in a title fight against Usman, but also like to be amazing in multiple disciplines. I don't see I don't see how I can't achieve that if I put in the work. And like obviously MMA is my own main goal, but also I would love to be fighting multiple disciplines. So I like compete like at a professional level in jiu-jitsu as well. But like yeah, I just don't see how that could be achieved.
Well, it could be with you if you're going every 7 days. You might have to do every 3.5 days,
Yeah,
or 3 days,
that's
or
it.
four
Yeah.
days. But you might be able
Nearly
to do it.
yeah, no, like I just think like that's how it is and you know, that's what I say. That's how I see it to be honest.
When did you get into martial arts, and what brought you to martial arts?
I got into martial arts when I think the first time I did it was during fifth when I was in my fifth year in school, in secondary school. But I went at it for about a 6 month period. Then I kind of like fell off a little bit. Then I came back to it after my leaving cert, and I've been really committed to it ever since about July 2018. And I had my first I had a kickboxing fight, and I was like, Jesus, like that was like so I've never experienced something like that. Like that's just different feeling. And I was like, okay, let me try it again. And I went, and then I remember actually I've actually fought 5 times in well I've competed. No, I fought 5 times in 1 week before. Uh, no, like I had t my Thai fight on a relentless fight night card before. I TKO'd the guy in the third round or something. Then I went on to compete in Gamma. Had 3 fights in Gamma, and I took home gold in that. And then which was so the fight night was of a Friday, and then the Gamma was of a Sunday morning. So about 2 days in between. Then the next week on, that Saturday, I fought up in Derry and I fought to a draw with a lad, but it was a good fight. But so ever since then, like that whole week there with that load of competition, that made me realize I was like, I like it just made me think it's like I'm actually like I think I'm I'm not just talented. Like I think if I really commit to this and I stick my mind to it, like I'll like achieve amazing things in the sport. Like, and I know everybody does say that, but it's just a feeling I felt. And like, I don't know, like I felt like the communication between my coaches and me and my performance, like I didn't look too far off a pro fighter. Like the level I'm at. Like there's obviously improvements, but like there's some pros out there who can't like control their opponent like that for 3 rounds and listen clearly to their coach for 3 rounds, and be composed because Darren did catch me with some shots like, so, I think if I just commit to this and keep pursuing it the way I am, and keep training hard, and keep the right people around me, like I've done so far, like, I don't see it. I think the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I don't see why not either. And what's the best piece of advice your coaches have given you? What do you think you've learned the most often?
Oh God, that is a tough one. I don't know. what is the best piece of advice? I'm trying to think now. That is a good one. I've never actually been asked that before. What is
I
the
can
best piece of
I we can move on and we can circle back to it if you come to it, or you can send it to me and I'll release it.
There's one saying that I really like, and I heard one of my coaches saying it, like Kieran saying it before, but it's like, you need to burn the boats. And that, as in, like, if you want to take the island, you need to burn the boats. Don't have a way out. Like, people like to act like they like this lifestyle. It's not like it's a gruesome lifestyle. You know, I'm going in training for the little time I show and perform, and it's the same with every competitor, I'm sure. Like, this isn't. I don't do this shit for the Instagram. Like, I don't, because it's not that good. You know, there's easier ways. I could just go to the gym and try and pack on mass. I don't want to do that. I want to fight. I love to fight. Uh, so that's definitely one saying that stuck with me. It's like, if you want to take the island, burn the boats. And I feel like people like to act like they're made for fighting just for Instagram and shit like that, and for the photos and the cool photos. But like, no, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, no, there seems to be. So going forward, you were saying you were hoping to get on some cards. Would you go back to Cage Legacy if you were invited?
I go back to every show. I don't like. I'm not. I don't have an opinion on myself. I'd take anything I was offered. Like, like, you could see me do that again. Like, that mightn't be a once off. Like, that could be a regular occurrence where I could be fighting back to back to back within a relatively short space of time. But like, yeah, I'm just hungry for competition. Like, once this week's over, I already have it clear. Once this week's over and like I'm a little bit more healed up, because obviously I'm very banged up. Like, I want to get back at it. I don't want to sit in my laurels too much. I don't want, like, I've had this week to enjoy it. That's it. I'm getting back at it. And
How would you?
I can tell all my teammates are itching to like put a beating on me. Like, you know what I mean? I think I'm too big for the boots now.
They want to humble you in the gym.
Exactly. I'm Jordan Scully, like, fucking hungry, chomping at the bit.
How does this sound? IRU 21st, Cage Conflict, and then Cage Legacy, all within about a 3 week period, 4 week period. Could you think you could do three in that short space of time?
Are they all in a 3 week period?
There's sorry, the 21st of November. So no, it'd be about yeah, it'd be the
Are
21st to
is Kids Legacy gonna be in November or
this.
not December?
I thought I heard the 11th of December. I thought I seen someone put up somewhere. I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I know IRU is definitely the 21st of November because they're putting up all their promo stuff now, and Cage
Yeah.
Conflict is the 4th. Do you think you could do three events in a short space of time?
I have to chat to my coaches and see, but like, I don't know. I think it would. Like, can you hear me? Can you?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was just.
You're all right. Like, I don't see why not. I have to chat to my coaches and see, but like, I definitely, like, like I was saying to my coach, and we were pretty much both mutually agreeing on it. Like, I intend to finish the year either 3-0, 4-0, or 5-0. Like, that's the beauty of amateur. I could slap this all together. Like, it's not all messy, like contracts and stuff like that. I can just get as much competition as I want. I'm heading up to Grappling Industries now at the end of the month, and I can't wait for that. Like, I'm really excited for that. I've been told there's a lot of you get a lot of like matches on the day, so that's something that really excites me. So I just want to competition. I just love competition.
You want to stay active.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question from the boys and enjoys. Who in your weight class would you like to test yourself against? Who would be an opponent that you'd like to face that you've been looking at?
So yeah, this was something I was chatting with my coach about, and I don't want people to, because obviously I'm getting a little bit of publicity now with the fights and all that, and but I don't want people to think I'm jumping the queue. Like, I want to, I'm not calling. I was chatting. I was chatting Jordan Bradshaw and Lewis Byrne before their fight. Obviously, I just, they're both very respectable lads, so I have to appreciate that. But like, I can't help but, and they're obviously looking at me as well because we're having a joke about it. But like, they're going to be my future competitors, and like, whoever holds that belt is going to be someone I'm going to come against. But also, they're a lot more experienced than I am, and they're doing it a bit longer. So I have to pull back now, and I'm going to not call for title shots yet. I don't want that yet. I want to just keep grinding away, and I'm going to fight whoever's put in front of me. I don't want to call for a name because that adds Like, I can't do that yet. I'm only 2-0. Like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna take who I'm offered, but slowly but surely, I'm gonna cut through everybody who's given to me. I'm gonna cut through them, and like like I said, I'm not gonna have fights with them. I'm gonna have performances, and if they want to drag out a 3-round war, I'll meet them halfway.
Yeah, that's good. You want to work your way up the ladder. You don't want to start
Yeah.
calling your shot straight away, which is good, which shows that the two wins haven't gone straight to your
Plus,
head. And you,
plus also like you, I know some of the competitors, but obviously with COVID and obviously like the lack of competitions being held, you have to kind of see where the cards fall, as in who is actually still fighting MMA, who's actually pursuing like the titles, or like who are the stepping stones to take to like lead my way to a title shot.
yeah, someone was saying to me that a lot of the good amateurs before COVID have just have not that they've disappeared, but they don't seem to be active or looking
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. But that's how it is. Like that's why like it's a lot. It's actually one piece of advice I remember my coach Kieran, to go back to your previous question, like about that. It's like this this can be achieved easily. Well, like it's a simple, well, like hard work and dedication, but like it's going to take way longer than you think it will. And like I think people think you're going to be like an overnight success, like instantly, and it's not. It's like constant hours on the mats, like grinding away, like injuries, pain, soreness. Serious discipline. Like I train like a pro fighter, so I do. I don't train like a half hours like some amateurs or whatever, or some pros. Like I train properly. So it's a very restricted lifestyle when I'm like in fight camp, and even outside the fight camp, it's still restricted. So that's why like after fights, I like to reset a bit, because I know once I'm like locked in, I'm gonna be completely or wholeheartedly on this until it's over.
Yeah, so do you stay around your same weight? Like, do you walk around close? Do you have much of a cut?
So for Cage Legacy, it was same day weigh-in, so I walk around at 66 kilos, or a little bit even lighter sometimes. But 66 kilos for that. But then for Clan Wars, it was day before, and that was 61 kilos. So I was cutting a little bit away for that. But yeah, I don't go crazy heavy. Like I mean, I let my body naturally put on weight if it wants to. I'm in my strength conditioning coach is obviously, he's trying to get me with them gains, but I'm in pretty good shape as it is. So yeah, I just stay around the same way. So I'm always ready.
You don't really need the aesthetics though to be a good fighter, do you? It's not. That's what
No,
you're talking about. That's the
yeah,
Instagram. That's the
yeah,
Instagram thing.
exactly. Yeah, like I mean, like I feel like I'm fairly ripped. No,
Yeah.
no, but like no, but like yeah, this is the false perception, because I remember like, or not. I remember I always have it like the whole time when someone, because I don't go around like, obviously now there's been a lot of talk, like, and like a lot of people are like posting clips of me and stuff of the fights, but like for a lot of people don't know that I do MMA, so they're like, I didn't realize you do MMA. Like, oh, I thought like you do that stuff, they're really like surprised. It's like, but you're real nice and all this, the way like that, because they expect the pure like bad stigmas from movies and like typical stereotypes, but like, like you don't have to be a huge or a bodybuilder. Like at the end of the day, I'm fighting a lad who steps on the scales and weighs the exact same as me. That's why I really couldn't care I couldn't care about all this like flashy stuff. I know I'll beat the lad in the cage. That's all I know.
Yeah, but what you were saying about people saying you're in life, I found since like I've only started doing this since the end of August, kind of, and I've only really started talking to people the last 2 weeks. What I found is everyone's super nice, and they're nicer than the people you meet
Yeah, well, you
in
have
day
to.
to day life.
We get our
You're
arse
humbled.
kicked. We get our arse kicked the whole time. Like you have to. If you think you're the shit or the bee's knees, you're gonna like get your head boxed in fairly quickly. There's no other way about it. Like there's always a bigger fish. It's the truth. You can't like. I see it like a lot of it. Like like especially on like nights out and stuff. Lads don't have a clue about like. I haven't a clue how to throw a punch, but then swear they're fucking Conor McGregor walking around the place or something. Yeah, no, you can't think you're the shit. You get humbled very quickly, like you said.
Have you had many egos walk into the gym and get humbled very quickly? You don't have to mention any
Uh,
names. So have people
no,
come in
no,
with an
no.
ego?
Yeah, but like even for selfish, right? Like everybody has an ego. You know, we all have egos. It's just that how much it can be measured. Like, no, there are some stories, and obviously I won't go into detail, but like
Yeah.
I think with every gym, because with every gym, whenever you hear about it, there's always just stories of fucking people thinking they're better than they are, or they're above something, or they come in instantly want to jump in with the pro fighters or the top amateur fighters in the gym, thinking they can handle themselves, and then like they find out very quickly they can't. When they get tossed by like someone way smaller than them.
Yeah, no, I know a guy he's small, but he's built and he's a bodybuilder, and that's why he goes. He went to jiu-jitsu, and he goes, "Oh, these are only tiny lads," and he goes, "They wrap me up like a pretzel." And then
Pretzel,
after
yeah,
that,
yeah,
he
yeah.
was humble. The best
Yeah,
are like the Facebook lads who start getting on to the fighters, and then you invite them into the gym, and then you see quite a
yeah,
few
yeah.
bit of that.
Of course, yeah. Like, there are, like, but there's people. That's just like ignorance is bliss. They just haven't a clue. Like you haven't a clue how little you know in fighting until you watch fighters in the gym, or you, more importantly, you feel it yourself. You feel just how easy it can be, like destroyed by someone. Even doesn't even matter about weight difference. If they're trained and you're not, they're gonna smash it.
Yeah, no, that is. So I'm gonna go because I have to head off now soon.
Yeah,
But
no
is there
bothers.
anything else you'd like to say? Is there anyone you'd like to shout
I just
out?
wanna. It's nearly be a running joke, but every time I do an interview, I nearly do too many shout outs. But I I do have to give a shout out to Kieran Davern, Shane Smith, Andrew Barrett, the whole team, and also Kieran and Shane are currently developing. Like I'm obviously a product of it, but it's called the Combat Lab. I think everybody should go give it a follow. Whether if you're a martial artist or you're just interested in general fitness, it's definitely something to watch out for. So
The, co-
the Combat Lab is what it is. If you go onto either of their pages, you'll see it anyways because they've advertised it. So either Shane Smith's page or Kieran Davern's page. It's called the Combat Lab. So thanks for being anyways. Thanks for having me on.
Perfect. Thank you very much for coming on.
Perfect.
It's my pleasure.
No bothers. Thank you.
Perfect. And I'll
Take
see you
care now.
soon.
Perfect.
Thanks.
See you
Bye
now.
bye.
Good luck. Good luck.